Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dave Roberts. I'm the Capital Projects Manager here at Woodland Pond, and this is my brief update as to the progress of our renovation, alterations and additions to the existing campus. And this is for the Residents Council annual, just to give an idea of how we're doing with our preparations. I'll start with a little rundown of what we've been doing over the last couple of months. And in September, we wrapped up the schematic design for the community building, and we set that aside so that our design consultants and civil engineer can prep for the planning board and allow the finalisation of the pricing set to go out to our construction manager, Wilson. While we had that shelved through a period of time, we started on the health centre schematic design and started to develop the designs that for that part of the project. We have held preliminary design meetings with the Village of New Paltz. The Mayor was there, Director of Planning and Zoning and Building, and had a really good meeting just about the scope of the project and what our intentions are for the alterations and additions. We also, through this period, really started to look at some of the more detailed design, and so we now have more developed landscape designs from our landscape architect, and also looking at various aspects, such as impact of low voltage or requirements for low voltage, some of the requirements and expectations for acoustic performance in various spaces, not just the Performing Arts Centre, but also some of the meeting rooms and activity rooms, as well as dining too, to make sure that these spaces all perform to provide a comfort level for all the residents. And also developing the food service aspect as well. And that's continuing not just in the existing community building, but also in the health centre as well, so that we can provide the best possible food for all the residents as possible. As we develop the design, it's always a case that you think of things that may not have been in the original programming. And so we're developing ideas in the fast casual area, trying to see if we want to have a slightly larger kitchen there than originally anticipated. We also, things like ping pong is really popular, so to set aside a dedicated space for that will then not impact other activities. Pickleball is what we have is looked at the gymnasium where a lot of activities like yoga will happen and so on, but we're also looking at having that large enough so that pickleball can be accommodated within that space. I've also met with the focus groups for the community garden to develop that, and part of the health centre developing design is providing a terrace on the second floor so that AL residents have easier access to the outside, so that if they have less time or they don't want to travel down to the first floor, they can easily get outside and enjoy the sunshine and being outdoors. So these are some of the sort of developing things that come with, as I say, learning about or understanding more about the design and thinking more about the potential of what we can do when we make changes to the facility. Wilson, our construction manager during this time, has been developing and working with us on the phasing and what will be included in the 2025 construction phase. And part of their job, obviously, is not just phasing, but also to develop the pricing set or the pricing. And they have partnered with us throughout the process so that they understand the changes that are happening and give us real-time adjustments to the price, but now they have the full pricing set in order to put together a more detailed price. One thing that we see is that the price has increased for the construction, and that isn't more about learning about the detail that's in there, but also about increased scope. We're at a stage in the design where we're trying to put everything in, all the big wish list of everything that we'd like, to understand what the cost of that would be. We see this as, potential for the look forward for 15 years, and we know that we need to make significant changes to, really provide the services and amenities that are expected by our residents. In October, our design team, including AG Architecture and NDP, met the deadline for the completion of the pricing docs. It's a big document, 130 pages. I was very impressed by the detail that was in that document. I should also say that the civil engineers, LRC, have and the mechanical engineers have documentation in there as well. And so that will be the basis for Wilson Construction's pricing, and the deadline that they have for that is November 19th. That also happens to be our deadline for the first public planning board meeting. And so a lot happening that day, and that'll give us a really good understanding about the pricing. And we've also had other preliminary meetings with the planning board. Our planning board application is formally submitted on Monday, this coming Monday. And so that gives them 3 weeks to review the documents before we go into the public forum. We had a second meeting, or at least our civil engineers had a second meeting with the Director of Planning and Zoning Building, and also the Building Inspector. And we got great response from them. Really good information that came out of that meeting was that there's no need for a special use permit, so that simplifies our application. And that also, what that means is that the uses that we are applying for under this application fall within the allowed use of the land already. So there's no need for a special use permit. That simplifies the application. And the Director of Planning indicated that he thought the approval would go through quicker than we have anticipated within our scheduling. I take that with a grain of salt, but it does give us an insight into their understanding of the application as being pretty straightforward. It's uncomplicated, and also, as a commentary on what they see as a very complete set of documents for that planning board application. And I'll just end by saying once again that we have assembled a great team between AG Architecture, our architects, the Molina Design Group, our interior architects, LRC, the civil engineers, and our construction manager, Wilson, are really working with us tremendously well and providing great professional service. So I feel very confident in their ability, but now with their documentation that's coming out, we're seeing what they're capable of to help us through this project. So I am actually currently I'm pre-recording this because I'm at the Leading Age conference in Nashville, but I hope you've had a great meeting, and I look forward to seeing you on my return. All right, thanks, bye.